In the opening scene, Leah, the owner of a self-funded heart-centered meal delivery service, gets to her restaurant, The Loving Spoonful, very early in the morning, excited because she believes the day will be great. She starts making the food for the day, as she has a lot of food to deliver to her customers. While cooking, her stove malfunctions, and she fixes it by punching the stove. She completes her delivery by adding specials to all the food based on who the customer is. Just as she does that, Eli, a recent adoptee father, is moving into the apartment above her. Faye, Leah's assistant, sees him moving in and says hi. She enters and sees all that Leah has done, which surprises her as she has done quite a lot. She can't help but think her friend has some secret powers to be able to do so many chores all by herself. She wants to help, and Leah tells her the plan for the day without a book. This always amazes Faye, as she doesn't know how Leah can keep a record of what the customers want by heart. Leah, however, always tells her that she has a system. Leah and Faye start talking about the new neighbor, and Leah suggests he can be a customer. But Faye explains they are barely able to cope with their current order, and she cannot do more than she is doing because of her school, which means they cannot take on more customers unless they have more hands. Aside from the fact that Leah has not taken a break for herself for a while. Leah, in response, mentions she is not here to take over the world and pushes the conversation away by sending Faye on an errand. Before Faye leaves, she tells Leah that if she refuses to rest, she will be seeing bears and lions. One thing about Leah is that she loves to do everything by herself. Unfortunately, this causes her flourishing business to start suffering heavily. Leah waves it off and walks away. While doing that, she receives a message from the tax department that they are giving her the final warning over her tax payment. She feels sad as she thinks she has more time. Just then she sees a bear by the window and decides to step out so what Faye said won't become a reality. She steps out and sees Eli, who explains to her that the bear she saw is a stuffed animal named Jolene, which belongs to Ivy, his niece, who is his late sister's daughter. He introduces Ivy and himself. Later in the day, Leah put a call through to the tax office to ask for another tax payment deadline as she currently does not have money to pay. She promises that she will have the money by the new set date. After the call, one can see she does not know where she will get the money from. She and Faye start loading their prepared food into the car to deliver it to their customers. While doing this, Faye brings up the subject of her stove malfunctioning and says she should get a new one. However, this means she needs more money. Eli receives a call from May, his cousin, asking about how they are settling into their new apartment. She also asks about the summer camp for Ivy, and he reveals he will be checking out a recommendation, even though Ivy is not excited about the idea because she is always shy about being in a new situation. She tells him to check outside his door for the housewarming gift she sent, which is a pancake maker, so that he can make pancakes for Ivy. This surprises him as she reveals that Ivy requested pancakes almost every day when she visited her. She then tells him to make sure he learns and grows for Ivy. He looks lovingly at the picture of his late sister and confesses to his cousin that all he is worried about is raising Ivy in the right way, just like the way she is with her girls and the way his sister would have. She assures him that he will figure it out as most parents do. Meanwhile, Faye wants to continue working with Leah, but she sends her to her group study. Before leaving, Faye tells Leah to ensure she rests, but she claims she will be fine since she has a system. Eli decides to take Ivy out to the park. He suggests that they call her friend Samantha to meet them there. However, she prefers to go with Jolene, her teddy bear. This solitary act sometimes worries Eli because he wants her to make friends and not be alone, but he decides not to say anything about it. Leah is working late on her system, and she gets tired. She puts her head on the table just to take a short rest, but she sleeps off till the next day when she hears the smoke alarm. She realizes the smoke alarm is coming from her new neighbor, and she takes along a fire extinguisher to help. Eli has been trying to make pancakes for Ivy, but he is doing a terrible job, and they end up having breakfast with Leah, considering how bad what he made turns out. While having breakfast together, they talk about the extras Leah adds to the food and how she believes it will help brighten the customer's day. He wants to start ordering Leah's food, but because of their schedule, she explains she will not be able to take more clients. This sparks an interest in Eli, who is a project manager, and he launches into a project management mood. He realizes that she is doing everything by herself and suggests she needs to employ more people. However, she disagrees with him. Their spirited discussion ends when Ivy brings up where they are going and suggests they should not go. Eli, however, tells her they will only check, and if she does not like the place, she will not go there. Getting to the summer camp, Ivy loves the camp. She even made a best friend bracelet for Jolene, making Ellie ask if he thought Samantha was her best friend. But she responds that she's got Jolene forever. It appears her mother's passing has shaken her up. She finally agrees to attend the summer camp. After she leaves, Eli decides to check the price of the camp to see if he can afford it. Seeing the price while taking a coffee, he almost chokes. The coffee is bad, but what brings the worst reaction is the price. Anne, the camp director, walks up to him, and through their discussion, Eli discovers that they do not have a cook. So he makes a deal to get them someone who will be their cook as a project manager, and proposes that they use his service as payment for Ivy's camp experience. Anne agrees with only one condition. The person he gets must stay and bring food till the end of the summer camp. Back at the Loving Spoonful, Leah is working on her faulty stove, while Faye is still suggesting that she get someone else to assist. She agrees, but says she will not be getting it soon. Eli enters during the conversation and tells them that their way out is scalability. This gets them wondering where the conversation will lead. When Leah and Eli sit down properly to talk, she then understands that all he is saying is that she should hire him to get the job on the line. Leah does not want to accept the offer of making food for the camp until Eli gives her one of their snacks to taste. She then agrees to apply for the job if they would be willing to pay in advance. After their negotiation, Faye prepares food with Leah, and she raises her concern about the way Leah is with Eli, as they seem to be like oil and water that cannot mix. Leah agrees with her, but disregards the comment as she believes Eli will only be helping her with her application. While talking, a customer comes for her order, and Faye attends to her. She asks if she can show her appreciation to Leah in person. While Faye is about to call Leah, she hears her scream on the number of application pages, which makes her discharge the customer. Leah is back with Eli to complain about the number of pages for the application, and he tells her he will assist her by filling them out based on her record. Eli is afraid she does not keep the record physically, and she hands over the system to him. He assumes the record will be properly managed, only to see the screen full of folders, which is quite messy for him. He starts anyway, and they go back and forth on the things they want to fill out in the application. Just then, Ivy comes down after hearing their noise from sleep. Eli apologizes for waking her and tells her he will tuck her back to sleep. Before going, he promises to find a solution to the problem with Leah, and he says goodnight. When they leave, Leah brings the system to herself to continue with the application, and she remembers something. She runs to inform Eli, who is tucking Ivy to sleep. She knows where her suppliers are and that she will get them in one place. The next day, they go to the farmer's market, and while Eli is working on different things, Leah is excited to be checking out varieties in the market. This is where all of Leah's support comes from. After the market, Eli reveals that he wants to help Leah make things better, and he suggests she get someone to do all the hard work for her while she focuses on the cooking aspect. They go back to the restaurant to continue working on the application. Just then, Faye enters to tell her that her class has been moved to the afternoon. Unfortunately, this was supposed to be the time she assisted Leah with the delivery. This bothers them, and while they are discussing, Eli suggests it can be good for them as they will use their time wisely. Faye will write down Leah's process of preparing the food to be delivered in the afternoon and continue with it, while he and Leah start the delivery of the food that is ready. Leah is reluctant because she has never done it that way before, but the word from Eli convinces her, and she agrees to it. After Leah enters the kitchen, Faye walks around Eli and asks to see his magic wand because he has made Leah lose her grip on her kitchen. Eli and Leah start the delivery, and they are using the opportunity to take pictures with Leah's customers, which they will use for the application. Then, they get to the final client, Mr. Ryder, who is staying on the top floor of a 7-story building without an elevator. They also want to take pictures with him, but instead, he collects the phone and asks them to snap a selfie because he has been practicing how to snap a selfie for his online dating site. He insists Eli is in the picture. Leah helps Eli arrange his hair for the shot, and this leads to them having a moment. When they are done, Eli and Leah are talking, and they forget the phone with their customer. He takes a picture of them before handing over the phone. He even calls them a couple. Everyone is back in the restaurant, and Eli is done with the application. He hands over the system to Leah, who completes the honor of applying. After the application, Eli starts seeing some fear and nervousness in Leah, but she assures him that she is ready. In the next scene, Eli is using a picture online to style Ivy's hair, but he is not doing a good job. Ivy, on the other hand, is happy. She likes the summer camp and wants to attend it fully. She is also happy that she will be seeing Leah every afternoon. She talks about the bond between Eli and Leah and why they always have spirited conversations, thinking they will not be friends. Eli says that they can still be friends despite having different opinions. He shows Ivy her hair, but she doesn't like it. He apologizes and suggests that she learn from her friend's mom. But Ivy pushes the idea away. This bothers Eli, as it feels like she is not ready to have any friends again. Eli and Ivy go to the farmer's market and see Leah. Soon, Ivy moves ahead, which gives Eli and Leah time to talk better. They first talk about Ivy going to camp, and he talks about him trying to make something happen before he will be able to take her to camp. Ivy stops at one of the vendors, and they join her. While doing this, Leah receives a call for an interview and to bring some of her sample work along. She appreciates Anne for putting a call through and making a promise to come for the interview. She drops the call and informs Eli about the interview. She is excited and decides to head back to her store to start working on it. Eli is also excited, as this is good news. Leah is at home with various items, but none seem to be the special items for kids that she would have used as extras for each meal. Faye, Eli, and Ivy enter, and a drawing from Ivy is suggested as the idea for the extra because it will be a card of encouragement for each of the children. They all agree on the way to create the card and how to use it as an extra, and they get to work. While Leah is working in the kitchen at night, Eli comes into the kitchen. He sees the light and decides to come and help. He assures her that he has Ivy on a camera and will be seeing anything in her room through it. He helps Leah, and they talk about Ivy's mom, who is his sister. He almost does not accept Ivy because he is afraid he would mess things up. And even now, he is not sure he is doing a great job. She encourages him, reassuring him that he is doing a great job. They continue working, and Leah starts giving Eli some tips in the kitchen that can be helpful to him. This turns out to be fun as they laugh and play. The tension starts building within them, and just when they are about to kiss, there is a movement in Ivy's room that interrupts the moment. Eli does not want to go, but Leah finds a way to convince him to leave, even though she is excited about the two of them having feelings for one another. On the day of the interview, Eli encourages a nervous Leah that she will be fine and will get the job. The interview starts, and Leah starts presenting her samples while talking about her brand to the judges. The judges love the interview and ask her if she will be able to reach more people if there is an increase in the number of participants. She gives an answer that they agree with. She gets the contract and also asks for the advance with the help of Eli. They agree to pay her the advance, and she will start work immediately. They are excited. But Leah seems to be worried about something, which Faye takes note of, but she is not ready to share. Later in the day, Leah calls the tax office about her payment for the tax so that they will not come down to seize her gadget. She turned to her stove after the call and showed how bad it was. She continues to cook, but the anxiety of failing is making her make a mess of things even more. Eli gets there and sees her in the situation, and he joins her because she has not been able to get more hands yet. He wants to make sure she starts her first day successfully as her project manager. Later in the day, Faye rushes in to assist in the kitchen as she is coming from school. Getting to the restaurant, she sees that Leah is ready with a meal, but she is not surprised. It is Eli who assisted her in the kitchen. They get to the camp and deliver the food. This gives Anne the chance to see Eli and share her worries about Ivy taking along her stuffed animal, as it might hinder her bonding with other people. Also, there is a chance it will go missing, which is why she suggests Eli bring up the topic with Ivy. The camp participants are all excited. Eli walks up to Ivy and talks about the stuffed animal before asking her to point to the camp craft table. Eli goes ahead and makes a special card for Leah and puts it on one of the leftovers. They sit down under the tree at the camp and start feeling sleepy while eating and talking. Before long, they fall asleep resting on one another's shoulders. They do not wake up until the camp is closed, and it is that Ivy wakes them up. They are shocked that they have slept so long. Faye has assisted Leah in doing the cleanup in the kitchen, and she sends her a message regarding it. However, she also adds that Leah should have slept together with Eli, but Leah did not read that part out since she is reading the text message out for everyone to hear. Ivy requests they visit some places before going home, and they agree to follow her since they are less busy for the rest of the day. They all have fun on a swing. After their time together, they head home. Eli and Leah tuck Ivy to sleep before heading to the kitchen, where Leah decides to teach Eli one of her specialties, so he can make it for Ivy. Yet again, emotions build around them when they get close, while Leah is teaching him how to make pancakes, and he is teaching her how to delegate. When they are about done, Faye calls Leah, saying that Anne just dropped the roster for the camp's second session, starting in 2 weeks, and it will have more people than what they are planning for. This will be a problem for them, but the solution is for her to hire more help. Leah tries to evade the issue before confessing that she cannot hire more help because she does not have the money to do so as she has used the advance paid to her for her taxes. This comes as a shock to Eli because she did not mention it. However, her backing out of the camp cooking means Ivy will not be able to attend. He expresses his mind and tells her they need to find a solution to it, or else they will both be sorry. Faye is also not pleased with Leah, and she expresses herself to her. She is disappointed because she is a friend to Leah, aside from the fact that she is an employee. She also tells her to figure things out with the business, and with a lie, because she suspects something is going on between them. And Leah is not admitting the truth. The next scene shows Eli calling May to ask her if she can send Ivy to live with her, because he is not sure he can give Ivy everything she needs during the season. While on this call, he collides with Mr. Ryder, one of Ivy's clients, and in the process, he sees a food service, and an idea pops into his head. He thanks Mr. Ryder and rushes away, but tells him a way he can help Leah with business before going. Leah is making calls to her restaurant to see if there is a way she can get a loan within 3 working days, but she is not getting any positive response. While wondering what her solution may be, Eli enters and tells her he might have an idea that will save them all. She is reluctant to respond to him, but she allows him to come in. He reveals that he has a company ready to partner with her, and they will push in all the funds she needs by expanding it. However, Leah declines the offer because they will need a significant share of the company, as well as telling her she will only be able to use their product. She does not like the idea and cannot believe Eli will suggest it to her, which makes her think he does not care about her and her business, but only about getting Ivy to camp. Eli, in his defense, tells her Ivy will be staying with May and not with him. This bothers Leah, and she moves close to him to ask for reasons. He tries to change his mind about the decision and apologizes for making her angry, then leaves. While at the door, he gives a piece of his mind to Leah and tells him she is too focused on gaining control, which might bring down the restaurant. Leah and Faye make the delivery to the camp, and they get there a bit later than they are supposed to. Anne talks to them about the time before leaving. Faye looks into Leah's eyes, and she confirms that she cannot take Eli's deal. Eli comes into Ivy's room to talk. He asks her about the issue between her and Samantha, so he can give her advice on the way forward for their friendship. He also tries to talk her into staying with May permanently so that she will live better, and he will have time for business. But Ivy's response to him telling him that she belongs to him, and he should not get rid of her, makes his jaw drop. He remains speechless. Mr. Ryder shows up at the restaurant to pick up his order, as Eli has told him Leah is having staffing issues. Hearing this makes Eli start talking about the challenges with her business, which she thinks Eli might have shared, but has not. Realizing she shared her problem makes her weak. Mr. Ryder engages with her in a conversation, and she explains the situation to him. He shares his story with her and advice for her. This brings up an idea for Leah, and she proposes it to Mr. Ryder. Ivy and Eli pack her bag as they head out. Leah, on the other hand, is excited about her new idea, which she shares with Faye. While they are talking, they see Ivy going with Eli with a suitcase, which makes Leah believe he is sending her away to May. Leah rushes to meet them to stop him. However, he tells her she is only going for a weekend. Eli uses the opportunity to ask Leah out on a weekend so that they will be able to solve the staffing problem, and just them. Mr. Ryder and a friend show up to be the ones doing the delivery. Leah then explains that she has solved her staffing problem through a partnership with Mr. Ryder and his friends, who will help her run that aspect of the business. This makes Eli feel as if he is not needed, and he cancels the meeting with Leah before leaving her. The business continues as Leah starts sharing her schedule on the board instead of doing it alone. She feels something is missing, but she cannot place her hands on it. Ivy and Samantha are in the camp and are back as friends. She is no longer fond of her teddy bear. She gives Eli back his phone and compliments the picture of him and Leah on his phone, which Mr. Ryder took when they did delivery together. Leah is having a conversation with Faye, while Eli is having a conversation with Ivy. Their conversation points to Eli and Leah coming together, and they both decide to go and see one another. While on their way, they meet on the road. Leah thanks Eli, and she proposes employing him as a project manager and making the business theirs, as she gives him a share of the business. Eli, however, wants a share of her heart, as she already has a share of his, and they are both excited. They hug and kiss passionately. Ivy and Faye join them outside, and they all enter the restaurant happily.